Hi, I'm Brian Howard, Executive Director of the Spellman Museum. This is part 2 of a museum overview which began in the last Spellman Spotlight episode. While the first part focused on the museum's founding and what brought us to the present day, this time we'll cover the museum's current activities. Later in the program, board member Heidi Price will discuss her longtime affiliation with the museum, and our curator, Ken Flowers, dives deep into the vault to share more treasures from our collection. Enjoy the show. The Spellman Museum operates with a small paid staff and a much larger volunteer pool. The museum's volunteers are dedicated collectors and subject matter experts, each applying their unique skills and knowledge to the tasks at hand. They are truly where the rubber meets the road when it comes to processing the vast array of stamps and ephemera that come through our doors. Most days, there are from 3 to a dozen volunteers at the museum, working on individual projects, sorting stamps, and running the store. The museum staff has a mix of professional and volunteer positions. Their collective role is to provide day-to-day leadership and special services, like educational programming, tours, and research assistance. Volunteers work in a mutually supportive environment, helping to move the museum's mission forward. Staff members oversee the research library, museum store, educational outreach, collections, and exhibits. It is not a stretch to say that without these dedicated supporters, the Spellman would not exist. Establishing and maintaining partnerships with like-minded organizations is another priority area. The museum works with the Weston Media Center to produce this program, the Spellman Spotlight, which is broadcast in town via local cable access and to the world on the Spellman YouTube channel. Affiliations with the Waltham Stamp Club and the New England Postcard Club bring hundreds of members and visitors annually through the door for meetings, programs, and sales. Vendor partnerships, most notably with Noble Spirit of Concord, New Hampshire, help the Spellman manage inventory and move the immense volume of surplus identified by volunteers into the hands of the next generation of collectors. The World Stamp Expo, the largest global event in philately, is coming to Boston this May. Between May 23rd and 30th, tens of thousands of visitors are expected to attend this event at the Boston Convention and Exhibition Center in the Seaport District. Of course, the Spellman is a must-see for out-of-towners attending the expo. There will be a museum booth at the show, but attendees are encouraged to pay a visit to our home in Weston as well. The Spellman is not far from the show venue, just a few miles west of the I-90-I-95 interchange. Shuttle service has also been secured to run from the seaport to the museum and back on Monday, May 25th and Thursday, May 28th. Seats can be reserved by visiting our store site at the address listed below. Between exhibitions, information, and well-run retail, the museum aims to satisfy the expectations of dedicated philatelists the world over. Check the museum's website and our social media channels for updates as the show approaches.
At the Spellman, we love to share all that we offer. Fascinating exhibit frames, memorable and engaging programs, a philatelic library with an incredible deep collection of books and periodicals, and a vault full of treasures. But what we should feature more is the donation of stamp collections and its pathway to the Spellman. I'm Heidi Price, Spellman board member. Growing up, my brothers and I remember our fastidious father collecting and organizing his stamps. He sat for hours at his desk, carefully placing each pane in an acetate sheet that went thoughtfully into a binder in the proper chronological order. Often he would call me over to show me the artwork or detail that he particularly loved. It was his private and lifelong joy. Ultimately, we inherited our father's pristine stamp collection that spanned more than 70 years. And while we all appreciated its beauty, the time and care it represented, and those memories of his collecting, we knew it would be even more valuable to someone else. I contacted the Spellman, had his collection evaluated, and I learned a lot during that process. With the knowledge and support provided by the museum team, I donated the collection. Along the way, During that process, I fell in love with this tiny treasure of a stamp museum and the incredible volunteers who share their time and their knowledge to work with the donated and stored stamps and postal ephemera. I wanted to be a part of it. I offered my time and my professional skills to help with raising awareness, raising funds, planning engaging events, and creating our fun and vibrant monthly e-newsletter that captures the spirit of the Spellman. I was invited to join the museum's board shortly thereafter, and I now sit in a position to collaborate to ensure the museum's vitality and longevity. So why share the story of our beloved Robert Price's stamps? Our experience highlights the many people who have also inherited or collected stamps, postal objects, or historical materials that could be so valuable to the Spellman. Maybe that is you or someone you know. We would love to hear from you. And in that process, we assure you that you will meet the most devoted and engaging team who bring these tiny pieces of magic to life. And the bonus? The donation process will allow you to relive the connection through the person and the entire experience. It's a win-win. We'll see you soon.
Hi, I'm Ken Flowers, curator of the Spellman Museum. I have in front of me here our Great Britain collection, the first album of our Great Britain collection, and I wanted to show you today some overprint stamps from 1902. On this page are overprint stamps of official stamps from Great Britain. These stamps are from 1902 during the reign of King Edward II. Now, these are regular postage stamps that were released for regular mail in the day, but they've been overprinted in this case with IR official here, and then down here is OW, which is for Office of Works official. These overprints serve a lot of purposes in philately. In this case, they mark these stamps as special to the offices that they were used in. So these are from the Inland Revenue section of Great Britain, so they were only useful with these overprints within that office in the British government. These stamps can be quite valuable, and in particular, this one right here is quite a valuable stamp. But let me turn the page because we've got some really high value stamps in here, and in particular this one here from the Board of Education. It catalogs at about 120 British pounds, which is at this point a little bit more, 120,000 British pounds, I should say, which is quite a bit more than $120,000. Really nice stamp here, another high value stamp here, some others on this page. So the museum loves our high value stamps like these, but that's not what I really wanted to show you today. What I wanted to show you was something that really captured my imagination and my attention. It's these ones down here, which are overprinted RH official. RH official stands for Royal Household. And these stamps were only available to people who lived or worked in the royal household, so Buckingham Palace essentially. I think these stamps are fantastic insight artifacts into the way that stamps were used, and to think of these stamps possibly sitting on Edward VII's desk as a stamp that he might have used or taken from to mail his own internal correspondence. That to me captures my imagination far more than these higher value official stamps. These are not terribly rare. They're reasonably valuable, but not terribly rare, but the story behind these stamps is the kind of thing that I really love about stamp collecting.